Hello, welcome back, Croeso. Right, interesting one today. We're going to go dive straight in because we've got the work here. This is from Wikipedia. Nicolas Poussin et in Arcadia ego, which is not quite actually what it says. And it's certainly not translated. I'm going to go through it. As you see, Wilson and Blackett's book here, chapter 10. We have Renaissance knowledge, which tells us what sort of writing that is and the message, what this picture's all about. Okay, and one thing I want to note on here, just want to quickly jot through. Are these details? No, this is slightly different the way they put that on the same page. But also, this sculpture, it's like a bas relief that's based on the painting. And again, they're pointing at this, that the writing's really important. They're both pointing at it. And as you'll see, officially, it's it's not deciphered. It's not understood. So if we just go back to the main piece, just give you a little idea here. Oops, daisies, a bit confusing how to do this. As to confirm, only show is to confirm some of the things shown in Wilson and Blackett. All right, earlier version, 1627, at Chatsworth House. This is the one we're on about. It's up in Derbyshire. Beautiful place to go to. Very interesting to wonder what the secrets of that are, okay? And as it says here, undated mid-18th century marble bas-relief is part of the Shepherd's Monument. Beneath it is the cryptic Shugborough inscription, as yet undeciphered. Well, it is deciphered. It's deciphered by Wilson and Blackett. They'll tell you exactly how to read it, but this is not accepted. And one of the problems seems to be, or could be, what Wilson and Blackett find, is this is a reference, a clear reference, and there's another Renaissance painting by Poussin to show that they're well aware of Christianity coming to Britain immediately after the crucifixion. And this is all to do with that message, which has been really hidden and suppressed, because of course it goes directly against the Roman Church method, which is where it started there. And particularly when it comes to Jesus himself, he ascended. You know, this idea was invented. He just flew up into the sky and isn't buried anywhere or anywhere to be found. But you find a lot of clues on that one. So I'll read some from the book, and I'll put that nice and big so you can see it. I'll just read straight from the book, all right? So when considering the fact that Nicolas Poussin painted scenes of a holy tomb in his Les Bergers d'Arcadie, or the Shepherds of Arcadia, and of the flight of the Holy Family from Judea by ship in the Deluge, that's the other painting I'm going to talk about, not in this video, next one. It is necessary to remember that many folk, including Nicolas Poussin, would have been aware of the account of the Holy Family coming to Britain as published by Cardinal Baronius around 1535 and by others. It is therefore totally mystifying that numbers of English writers have been queuing up to write and publish about the alleged foundation of early Christianity in the south of France. And the Deluge really tells this, it shows the difference. Anyway, King Louis XIII, they got Nicolas Poussin, born 1594. This is the colluders, if you like, the gang. His mentor, Cardinal Rospigliosi, and later Cardinal Richelieu, and his nephew, the Duke de Richelieu, all knew perfectly well the records in the Vatican records of the research of Cardinal Baronius, and others showed that Britain was the initial place and source of Western Christianity. They were also known of the order of precedence, from the British representatives having been placed first in all ancient church councils. Mystic inscriptions in Nicolas Poussin's paintings, and all manner of other scenes and other lingering traditions have been trotted out in recent years to try to resolve these ancient puzzles. The results have nothing whatsoever to do with the south of France, and the absurd claims that the inscription on the tomb in Poussin's painting of the Shepherds of Arcadia is indecipherable are laughable. Also is the claim that the inscription on the Shugborough Hall monument showing Poussin's shepherds painting in stone with an inscription beneath it is also indecipherable. As I just showed, that's on Wikipedia. So this is interesting, right? The explanation of the Shugborough Hall inscription was very clearly published twice in Wales in the English language in 1825. So it's almost 200 years since it was shown what this was meant, and they still talk about it as some sort of mystery. and is taken from much older Cymric texts, which are presumably the original source of the Shugsborough Hall inscription. See, nothing can ever be British, and particularly can't be Welsh. So let's talk about this painting a bit. The Shepherds of Arcadia text on the tomb in the Poussin painting appears to read as, "I am in the land of Caradoc," for whatever that is worth. Wilson and Blackett says it's been known for 200 years, no one seems interested. One shepherd is pointing at an open space, and another shepherd is pointing at a letter. So simply transpose the letter being pointed at from there into the open space being indicated, and read the inscription in the correct language. The only problem is to then identify the four figures in the painting, none of whom is dressed as a shepherd. I should mention on the Wikipedia thing, it says it's like a sort of fantasy shepherd. They're not shepherds. There's nothing to... Why is it even called shepherds on the painting? Strange, isn't it? Right, so 3 of the 4 figures are depicted wearing very ornate sandals, and so they are definitely not shepherds in the conventional sense. The main figure is the tall woman at the right, who wears a blue skirt and a gold shawl, and she also appears to have a tiara and headdress. The colours appear to indicate connections with royalty, blue, and with the royalty's blue, the gods are gold, and she appears to be the Magdalene, or the Magdalene, the daughter of King Juba II of Numidia, and Cleopatra, the daughter of Mark Antony, and Queen Cleopatra VII of Egypt. This lady would have been the consort of Jesus the Nazarene, or an Essene. The beardless, very young man leaning over the tomb next to the woman is probably her son, as she has her arm casually draped across his shoulder. This young man, who wears red and who has a wreath on his head, has a connection with the tomb, as he has placed his foot up onto a stone at the corner of the tomb. And the son of Jesus is named in the Acts of the Apostles as Elymas, E-L-Y-M-A-S. On the opposing side of the tomb, there is another beardless young man who's wearing a white cloth draped over his shoulder. And commentators have remarked that white is the colour of shrouds. This young man is somewhat expressionless, and he wears no sandals, and this seems possibly to indicate his status. The biblical accounts tell of a young man wearing nothing but a white sheet fleeing from the Garden of Gethsemane when the Roman soldiers come to arrest Jesus the Nazarene at night. That's in Mark 14:51. Then there is the account of Lazarus being released from the tomb by Jesus the Nazarene after 3 days, which is in John 11. The fourth and final figure is that of an older, bearded man kneeling at the front of the tomb and apparently reading the inscription. He is powerfully built, and that probably indicates temporal power. And he is the leading active figure, and again he is wearing a blue robe. This may be Joseph of Arimathea. So there's something to think about. As I'm in the land of Caradoc, it translates clearly. And is the deluge, which we'll talk about soon. Oh, it's all in this book. Ignore the pink sticker. That's just to stop me sending out the one I've scribbled all over. It's where Jesus is buried. Available. There's only a few left at the moment. Another print run should be coming back soon. And then, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that. And why this blanket refusal to even consider the solutions that have been presented for this for 200 years. And officially still untranslatable or undeciphered. It's a funny old world, isn't it? Alright, till the next time, which won't be far away. Heddiw.